Alright, it's a beautiful day in sunny Florida. It's February 9th, and I'm showing you guys my window farms. This first one here is tomatoes. This is my first attempt. This is also the first window farm I've built. It's not as good as the other installments I've done, material wise, or how I actually did things. One of the things I have since changed is how I actually cut the hole. You can see I have a squared off edge here, not a good idea. So the later ones I went with a round hole. It adds a lot more stability on the sides. My variation incorporates the hose up through the center as opposed to outside and in through the top, which is what you usually see. Another mistake I made was this type of hose here. This is regular air hose that you can get at a pet store for aquariums. This particular one is more of a rubbery version that actually came with that pump. I have since started using the vinyl version of that hose, which you can buy separately, also at the pet store. Two reasons: because it's a lot more sturdy, and because I believe it's a lot more smoother inside. Because as you can see, I'm getting algae started on the inside of this hose here, which has not occurred on the other three that I used the vinyl. I have cherry tomatoes on the right, big beefs on the left. I should have put all cherries in one and made another one for big beefs, but this is just an experiment. And hopefully it's not too dark. The dog, as long as she stays out of my way. See a lot of little flowering going on. Actually a lot of flowering going on. Down here at the bottom, these were the first sets of flowers down here, which are now showing signs of tomatoes. And the big beefs are also getting little flowers now. There. And you can see I just have little Q-tips. Really shouldn't have to go ahead. I mean, they say tomatoes are self-pollinating, but I want maximum yield, so I'm not taking any chances. Plus, with them being on the Lanai here, it's not like any bees can go ahead and pollinate because of the screen. So let's head over to these here. This is the second window farm I made, again using the duct tape, and I have strawberries growing in here, quinolts. This one here is the biggest strawberry I got so far, and it's starting to get red, which is pretty cool. Can't wait to eat that thing, see how it tastes. I've never had hydroponic vegetables or fruits before, but I'm just kind of winging it, and apparently I guess I know what I'm doing. This is the third farm I built. This also has strawberries, but these are sequoias, and I got a lot of sequoia strawberries growing everywhere on this one. A lot of flowers on this guy here. Most of them have already turned into strawberries. These again, these are not self-pollinating, or at least not as easily as tomatoes. So I do come out and regularly check and pollinate as I need to. And the third one, or actually fourth one I should say, this one here is the latest version. On the second and third one, the variations, like I said, I went ahead and I changed the way I cut the opening. I still have two, one on each side, allowing for two plants to grow. Still using the vinyl hose now. This is a 3/8 hose, here. I did that just kind of, it works as a silencer and extends it down, keeps from dripping and splashing. What's nice about this setup here is, as opposed to the water having to drip down, which it tends to splash up on the sides and on the leaves. And I don't want that hydroponic stuff getting on the leaves because it can burn them, I believe. Another thing is too, is it being Florida, any kind of splashing just goes ahead and lets the water evaporate a lot quicker, which is something that I don't want. Especially with the tomatoes, that little 2-liter bottle, I have to add at least 1 liter of water every day just to make sure that that thing is going to keep watering those tomatoes over there. Strawberries, they're not as, they don't need as much water. I don't lose nearly as much with these guys here, which is good. So again, here's the third one, round holes, but this one I use paint. I just used a plastic paint, like a latex base, instead of the duct tape now. I like the paint, it looks a lot nicer. And with the heat, I'm pretty sure that after a while that duct tape is going to come off. When it does, I'll try to clean those bottles and I'll paint that one the same as this, assuming the strawberries die. But if they keep going, I ain't going to change it. I'll just keep trying to maintain it. And the last one. This one here, I've only just dropped seeds in like 2-3 days ago. I'm going to have watermelon at the bottom, cantaloupes, muskmelons, some cucumbers pickling, and then some beans at the top. And the plan is to actually relocate these tomatoes here. This whole wall here is southern exposure. That's facing south right there. That's east, and then of course, west. And I get a lot of good morning sun and a lot of great southern sun. So the strawberries are doing really good over there. I'm thinking I'll move the tomatoes in between the strawberries. I got some trellis netting, which I'll go ahead and add in these areas and re-support these tomatoes here because they're just huge. And I want to try to go ahead and lay them out and force them to go ahead and grow up. If I go ahead and I get these guys going horizontal and they can go vertical on their own, should be able to get a lot bigger plant out of it. Just have basically like a column of cherry and a column of big beef on the other side. And the reason I want to move them over there is because the watermelon and the cantaloupe and the cucumbers and the beans, they're going to need a lot of space. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of dedicate this whole panel right here for these guys. And I'll just have one in the center, and then I'll put trellis netting on the sides. Either way, I figure 2 plants per. Just have them coming out horizontal and just keep trimming them, keep maintaining them. I might leave a little space on the edge here in case I want to add another one there and another one there of something, like herbs or whatever, which is kind of what I'm saving this little spot here for, just herbs. And then as far as the western side, I haven't really figured out what I want to do over here yet. I might say heck with it and just try some grapes or something. See what happens. But yeah, so far so good. I'll be having a bunch of tomatoes here pretty soon. Strawberries are all on the way. Got one already turning red over there. And 150-gallon salt tank. Need to clean it. That's the plan. Callie, say hi. You're so dark, you can't even see on here. No water pumps, all done with air pumps. Pet store air pumps. That's it. So, alright, thank you.